I guess we're going.
I guess we're on.
All right. You wanted to know about my story of how I started playing.
I did, because I haven't heard this story.
Few have. I started playing music. Actually, I think I got into music to begin with. I would have seen like a cool emo boy or something like that on the bus when I was like 10.
I want to be him.
Yeah. So he would have like a sick fringe and he would have some like earbuds in. And I just saw the earbuds and I was like, I like the look. So
Are we talking like scene kid?
Definite like proto scene kid. Like, what was that? Invader Zim. He would have like an Invader Zim t-shirt on or something like that. And like some real ripped up, super skinny jeans. And I can't remember who I nagged, but I nagged mum or dad for an MP3 player when after I saw that for like a Christmas present or something. And whoever got it for me it was this terrible little like $50 MP3 player, but it was sick, and I had the earbuds. That's what I really needed. But I was like, damn, I don't have any music to put on this. Like, what do you listen to? I'm not into music yet. And so I gave it to my older brother Ro, because I was like, Ro, you know music. And I was like, hey, can you put some stuff on this for me? And he puts a bunch of stuff on there, and there was like, no doubt there was like, Tool and Rage Against the Machine and everything.
Yeah.
But the one that really got me was he put Metallica, the Black Album, on there. But while it was uploading to the MP3 player, the files got corrupted just after Enter Sandman, the first track. So I just remember like my little 10-year-old brain exploding because I heard Enter Sandman. And then the first like minute of the next song, Sad But True, was on there. But right when the vocals started in that song is where the file got corrupted. And so I never got to hear what the rest of the song was.
Right.
And for like 3 months, I just sat there just like toiling, like listening to Sad But True over and over again, like wondering what comes next. And then just nagging until I finally got the Black Album and I got to hear what the rest of it was like. And then like whole world exploded. That's when I like stopped caring about playing cricket, because I was playing cricket like real hard at the time. I stopped caring about that. And I was like, damn, this is the way.
That's hectic.
And then I stole some chopsticks from a Chinese restaurant we were eating at. And then I started like playing the drums on the desk along to just songs off that album. And then like started getting Rage Against the Machine and stuff. And then eventually, got a drum kit. And that progressed into getting a bass for the first time when I moved back down to Canberra when I was 13. And then shortly after that, a guitar. And I realized I was way better at guitar than I was at drums. So I stuck to it.
That's crazy.
I reckon if that file hadn't been corrupted, like had I known what the rest of the song went like, I don't think I would have been so invested in it, because I spent like 3 months like wanting to know what the rest of that song was. That's what made it so important to me. So when I finally got to hear it, I was like, this is the way. This is what's got to happen.
Wow. That's really cool. I feel like the music that you listen to when you're like just first figuring out that there's music other than your parents' collection is I guess super really formative, because I remember similar kind of story. I had I think like we had something at school where it was like bring in your favorite. At that time, it was albums, but like CDs, and everyone was going around with So Fresh hits and all this stuff. And I was like, "Mom, can you get me a CD?" And like the first thing she got me was an ABBA CD,
Dope.
a gold. I don't know which one. It was a gold. I think
I know the one. It's called like ABBA Pure Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she got me that, and so I came to school and like had my ABBA CD, and it was like all I'd listened to. And then there was like a couple other things that I listened to, and then it wasn't until because I watched Disney Channel, and I was like a huge Disney Channel fan, and I got listening to the Jonas Brothers, and I was like crazy about them, and I think I just like wanted to be them. I was like, I want to be Nick Jonas. And and also like School of Rock. I loved School of Rock. I just was like, I loved all the music, and so then I just started playing guitar. Mum and Dad got me a like a little Yamaha.
Like a Pacifica, or was it?
It was a Pacifica.
Acoustic, or
no, it was a little Yamaha Pacifica, little electric blue one, and and I just like started playing around with it, but I was rubbish. Like I'd played violin, and then I just it was just always a fun thing, and I look back at that guitar with fond memories.
Do you still have it?
No, I actually gave it to a friend. I lent it to a friend, and then he took it to Melbourne.
Standard.
I don't even know if he still has it.
Damn.
But yeah, it was good. And then so like I played guitar. I guess I played my electric guitar in year 7, 8, 9, 10. And then when I started college, I kind of was like, I don't know. I listened to like The Strokes and a bunch of bands, but I guess I didn't have, I wasn't writing that style of music. So I started kind of playing like folk stuff, and I got an acoustic guitar, which was fun. And I played with some friends who are now actually in other bands like down in Melbourne. And then I kind of like put it away in uni because I just was like, well, I don't know. I guess I can't really do anything with this. It was a bit of a barrier. I didn't even know what to do. And then I met Joe and just picked it up again. And yeah, here we are.
That's rad.
Yeah.
My first guitar was, my first bass was, I bought it from DW where I now co-manage. Sorry, Brendan. He won't even like that, where I work under Brendan.
Set the record straight.
Yeah. I got a little blue Monterey precision bass copy. That was my first bass. Then shortly after that, I got a little like LTD EC10, which is like a Les Paul copy, like a little black thing. But the one that really did it for me, I got this, it's called a Jackson Kelly, and it's like this big, like obnoxious Explorer shape. And I got it because it looked just like James Hetfield's from Metallica. And there's like, if you dig through the archives, there's a million cringy photos of me like standing like, you know, legs like super far apart, like guitar super low down, looking metal as hell, taking photos, you know, with my laptop web camera.
Oh my
Web camera.
god! What a throwback! I have not seen those
You won't.
those laptop webcams.
Yeah.
You know, they had like all those effects that you could scroll through.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Everyone's Facebook DP with like
at like the terrible beach green screen and stuff.
Now it's the same, but like we're in Microsoft Teams, so at work it's like everyone's like, we've got all these Zoom meetings and stuff, and everyone's like,
yeah, straight up.
yeah, I live in this mansion.
The more things change, the more they stay the same and all of that.
Damn straight.
Likewise with me playing pointy guitars and stuff like that.
Yeah, actually, that reminded me of that guitar that was in that photo you sent from Sydney. It was it was like it was like a guitar gun. It was like
it's like an AK but with strings on it. Basically.
That was wild. You would have seen some wild guitars come through DW.
I have. The coolest one I ever saw come through the store. This is like more cult classic than like awesome, like crazy, stupid shape or anything. There's a guitar company called Travis Bean Guitars, and they were the progenitors of the aluminium necked guitars. Started in the early 70s in the States. And he only produced them for a few years, to my understanding, and then stopped doing it, and he's passed away since. So there's only like a few thousand Travis Beans in the world, but they're like these big, heavy machines with like a pure aluminium neck. Yeah, up there on the screen.
Oh.
So like back then they had like wooden bodies, but as you can see on the back there, like it's full aluminium neck bolted into the body. And I went to the chemist one day at work. I was buying like some Panadol or something, and like I've loved these things forever. And in the 5 minutes that I'd gone to the chemist, a guy had walked into the store with one of these, being like, "Hey, what do you know about this?" And I get back from the chemist, and like, had I been gone another 5 minutes, like none of the other boys knew what it was. Like, there's no branding on it; you can't tell what it is.
Right.
None of the other boys knew what it was, and I walk in there, and I'm like, "What the hell?" I've been gone for 5 minutes, and a Travis Bean just appeared in the store, and so I like sat there and nerded out, and
wow,
it was amazing. It was like weighed like 6 kilos, but. And the strings on it were like about as old as it was. Like it definitely hadn't been restrung since like the 70s. But
that's wild.
But because of the aluminium neck on the guitar, like these 30-plus-year-old strings, 40-plus-year-old strings sounded like brighter than any guitar in the shop.
Yeah,
it was
no
wild.
doubt.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So that's the coolest guitar I've ever seen in my books.
That's so cool.
But I've seen some pointy, crazy shaped ones as well. And lots of ones with like terrible home paint jobs and stuff like that. Like
I did a pick guard. I found this guitar. Well, I didn't find it. I got it from the Green Shed.
Yeah.
And I like tried to do I don't know. I saw this guy on Instagram, and he was making these really beautiful pick guards that he would then bolt into the guitars, and they just looked stunning. And I was like, I want to try that. Obviously, mine was a way sloppier version. But that was a really fun project, and I guess I got a bit more of an understanding of like how, like what the different parts are in a guitar, you know.
Totally.
And then I gave that to a friend as well, because I was like, I can't look at this anymore.
You just stop giving things away. Yeah, nothing like dismantling something to figure out how it works. Though
Yeah.
I won't give too many details away because like I'd probably be indicted or something like that. But I've seen like some pretty bad like snakeskin paint jobs and stuff come through the shop.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
you know, like a guitar that once would have been like a beautiful, you know, even just like a basic color or something. But you know, taking that and then like, you know, using a chisel to like turn it into snakeskin or something like that and made it all green or trying to do custom graphics. And it's like, look, if you're into it, that's sick. But this is a monstrosity.
Oh,
but everyone's off the hook, you know. Have fun with your. I'm hardly not guilty of tampering with guitars beyond recognition.
I feel that.
When I was like 18, I had this 7-string, and I like got it in my head. It was like this kind of ugly red. And I got it in my head that I wanted to refinish it seafoam green, and I was like, oh, it can't be too difficult. So I like pulled the neck off it and pulled all the electronics in the bridge and everything out, and I like just bought a belt sander and just started going to town on it. And then like it was like a contoured body. It wasn't a flat body. It had contours to it, and sure enough, like I busted those contours pretty quick. And all of a sudden, it was just this like lump of wood that like once resembled a guitar, and it still had some paint left on it in like the nooks and crannies where I couldn't get the belt sander to. And I was like, so I just put it back in the case and forgot about it.
Your handiwork.
Yeah.
I used to play violin in an orchestra when I was little, and I remember like and this was a nice violin. Like I still feel guilty about this because there was like this little scratch on it, and then I just kind of like, I don't know, as I was like sitting, I was, you know, listening to the conductor, and there was other people practicing their parts. I made these little marks, like these little, like I just thought it'd be more badass. And I was like, and I come home, and Mom and Dad are like, what have you done to your violin?
Oh.
Yeah, I never lived that down. It was like, and I was like, oh, it was just like this. And they were like, you're an idiot. You mutilated this violin we bought you.
Absolutely. It had to be done.
I was going through a phase.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool. It's like ripped jeans.
Never got a style.
My ESP, while I was in the studio the other week, the seat that I was sitting on, like the armrest had been taken off, so there was like the little metal things that they get screwed into, and one of them was like kind of poking up, like on the right side where my guitar was sitting. And like the whole time I was tracking, I didn't really notice, but I was effectively just like shaving it on the corner of this. Ooh. So like the whole bottom side of my black guitar is just like bare now. There's like nothing left. And like looked at the floor after the end of a week, and there was just like all these like black paint shards just everywhere from where I've just been like sanding this gap.
Jeez, yeah, you better fix that up.
No, it looks cool now.
Yeah.
See, I haven't grown out of it. I'm still in my grungy guitar phase.
So on the violin, are we going to be hearing some violin in any upcoming Sputnik songs?
We are now.
Oh no, that was never my forte. The violin is like, kudos to all violinists. Absolutely. Because it is an incredibly hard instrument, and I just could not, like, even just to get it to sound slightly good, right? Because there's no frets. It's a string instrument. There's no frets, so you can be doing everything right, and your fingers are just like the tiniest bit off.
Yeah.
So it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I can't imagine, but I do love orchestral music still.
Yeah, absolutely. How can you not?
Yeah, exactly right. But those days are behind me, unfortunately.
A friend of mine who's a really accomplished violinist, she was, I don't remember like how it led to this part in the conversation, but she was like just obliterating anyone who chooses to play like a fretless bass, for example. She's like amazing violin player, like mind blowing, makes any other like stringed instrument player, like, you know, guitar players and stuff, like, okay, no, that's a legitimate musician. We're guitar players. Like, that's how it feels. And then she's like, just, why would you, when you have a bass that can have frets, why would you play a fretless one? It's like you have the opportunity to have so much liberty.
I feel that. From someone who struggled through a fretless instrument for 10 years, yeah. I totally feel that. And then I played the guitar and I was like, oh my gosh, it's just in tune.
Exactly. It just makes sense. I got 24 options, 22 even.
Yeah.
It was like, can't go wrong. It's
yeah.
If you make a mistake at that point, it's on you. You can't even blame the instrument.
Yeah.
That's still my excuse. Like, you know, when I forget what, you know, bar chord we're playing or something in a chorus, it's the guitar's fault, not mine.
Yeah, never your fault.
Yeah,
no, I totally feel that. I'm actually terrible with even just, like, I used to, when I first started writing songs, I used to write out all the chords per, like, back when I was in high school, I didn't have an iPhone, so I was like, I need to write my lyrics, and I need to put, like, my chords above my lyrics, and, like, I have all these books of little songs that I was writing. And then now I just use voice memos, and it's just like my camera roll. It's just like scroll through all these voice memos, and I kind of wish I was still doing the scrapbooking approach.
Yeah, totally. Do you have a naming convention for your voice memos, or is it just a jumble like mine is? Because it's
a bit of a jumble. Yeah.
My ones get geotagged, so it's like wherever I do the
right?
voice memo.
Yeah.
So, I do heaps of them at work, and Maps always thinks that I'm at Officeworks, so I have 30 voice memos from Officeworks apparently, and then everything else is just random streets that I was on, and it's just like. What?
So when we were in Red Sun the other day, and we went down and had Melted.
Yeah.
So I was recording some. I was recording some of the songs that we were playing on my phone, and then all the recordings are just. I think it was just Fishwick. I think it was all the recordings are Fishwick, and then one recording for one of the songs we played was Melted, Toasted Sandwich Emporium, and I was like, what?
Damn.
Of all the songs, it was just this one song.
Shout out to Melted for getting their own geotag.
Big props.
They get a bigger shout out when they bring in some vegan cheese options there.
Yeah.
I'll be there every single day.
True,
I'm going to get so fat off some vegan cheesy toasties.
That soup was good though.
That soup was tight. That was a good veggie soup. Tasted like mum's.
And leached off your soup.
Yeah, everybody got to eat. Everybody's got to eat.
So was rolling, did that start from a voice memo?
Let me think. I don't know if it did. I feel like I'm thinking back a while though now, because I think Joe came up with the riff. He came up with literally dun dun. Oh no, what did he come up with?
The lead line? Or the
yeah,
chorus?
maybe it was the lead line. Do do do, something like that.
Yeah.
And he'd done a little thing on GarageBand or something, and but he didn't have the chords underneath it, and so then I put the chords underneath it, and yeah, we just worked on it a bit, and it's actually we've been playing that song in sets for a while now, and it wasn't until we got in the studio, Grove Studios back up in Central Coast, and then again in Sydney, that we kind of settled on kind of what it is now. But yeah, that song, I guess the melody and everything kind of came together, but the lyrics probably came together first, because that was we kind of took inspiration. One of my favorite bands, Wolf Alice, the lead singer, she writes a lot of songs that she just she'll write from a perspective of a character or someone that, about a film or a book, or just kind of take, use a metaphor to kind of explain something in her songs. And we ended up doing that with Rolling. So the lyrics are from first person, but we kind of drew inspiration from the novel and film Breath, which is, I don't know if anyone's seen that film or read the book.
I've seen it.
You've seen it?
I've seen the book.
You've seen the book?
And I've read the movie.
What did you think?
I like the movie. The blonde kid remonds me a lot of my older brother Andrew.
Right. Looney. He's troubled.
Yeah, to a T.
Really?
He will. If someone says jump, he'll say how high, and then he'll jump off a bridge just to prove to him that he'll do it.
Yeah, that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I really like that film, but it was it's pretty some full on themes and stuff, and really liked the general cinematography of the film as well, and how it was kind of set in the 70s in WA, if you haven't seen it. And yeah, we wanted to, I guess we use some of that imagery in our lyrics of sort of outback land. And
I think it might have even been filmed on film camera, hence giving it that aesthetic.
Right.
It may have been. I could be completely mistaken and talking
we'll have to
complete
check that
smack
out.
right now.
No, but that would be interesting, because it definitely has that aesthetic. So, yeah.
Hey, that's us.
That's us.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
I guess this has a 35mm quality to it.
Oh, yes.
So
No, this song, and actually there's one point in the movie where and in the book The movie actually follows the novel like quite closely, where there's this, without giving any spoilers away, there's like this accident that happens, and it's quite confronting for the main character. And then it kind of like takes a bit of a turn, and he starts changing. Relationships start changing, and he kind of starts, I guess, feeling a bit more vulnerable, and the narrative kind of changes.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like what happens in the song, which like I don't even know if that was necessarily on purpose, but Joe like made the parallel a couple months ago, where we kind of like it gets that darker, like heavier kind of. Yeah, that's the film. It's a great one.
I hope it was filmed on 35mm. Otherwise, I sound like a fool.
Imagine if you called that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good film.
The blonde kid on the right, on the left now. Yeah, he's absolutely my brother.
Yeah. It's
actually, if anything, they're both of my brothers. They're like the main character, the brunette kid. Like he's just like a little bit more sensible.
Only marginally.
My brothers watch this; they're gonna have a fight over it. I'm more sensible than you.
No, it's surfing looks so cool.
Yeah, I cannot do it.
Yeah, me neither.
I can't even stand on a skateboard properly.
I tried to. We've got family in WA, and last Christmas we went over there, and my uncle's a real surfer. He loves it, and he's like, "I'm going to take you guys to the beach. Like, I'm going to bring the surfboards. You're going to have a great time." And I've surfed like a little bit before at this surf camp, but by like surf, that's like very loosely. The instructor like helped me stand up, and anyway, I just was like, yeah, I'll be fine. It's gonna be great. And literally, on like the first wave, it was a super windy day, and I tried to stand up and like went kind of forward over the board, and then the board flew up so high, and just unsuspecting, I was just floundering in the water. It came down like a dart right on the top of my head. And I was like, it was like smack. I think I almost got knocked out. And anyways, all these people on the beach just like looked over, and I was bleeding on my head. And we'd been at the beach for like 5 minutes. I was that person that the whole family was like, great, we've got one car, we're going to have to leave. Like, what are we going to do? And I was like, it's classic.
I've never even attempted to stand on a surfboard before, though I imagine it would go how all of my other board adventures go, like snowboarding, for example. Like, I so badly wish I was good at snowboarding, but I'm just not. And it's like, I was at Thredbo, I think, with my brothers. It was one of my brother's birthdays, and we all went up to Thredbo. And I was like, at like just a track bit, like, not like a course or anything like that, just like a transition. Like, okay, you finish this run, get on this track, go down to the lifts. Like, it's effectively a walking trail that everyone else like leisurely skis and snowboards down. And I'm sitting there, I axe myself like 5 times just on this trail. It's just like just falling over and just having the worst time.
It's so hard. It's one of those things where it's not fun until you're like at least somewhat competent at it. And it's really hard to get to that first level.
And it was like after 2 days of practice as well, but I still couldn't get it. And
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. And I felt fell over, and this skier goes past me, like gives me some lip. He was just like, "Don't fall over on the trail." And I was like, "Shut up, man." They were waving my fist at him, like, I'm trying my best.
It's so hard though.
Yeah, and all my skateboarding attempts have been like that as well. That's why I play guitar. That doesn't involve my feet.
So good at it. All over it.
So we're not going to see a surfing video for Rolling starring you guys?
Not starring us, no.
No. We are doing a music video for it. There's been some little snippets around.
When can we expect it?
It's TBC. I mean, we were going to put it out. This is a little preview. We were going to put it out soon, but we're thinking maybe.
We got 2 tracks.
Yeah, we got 2 tracks. Yeah.
I didn't realize there was extra layers to this song. These headphones are great.
Yeah, a little taste. Really excited to put it out. I don't know when we're putting it out. Could be soon. Could be later. But yeah, it's cool. It was sort of an idea that we storyboarded earlier in the year, and we had plans to do it, and then those plans fell through, and then we found a great team to work with, shot up in Noosa and Brisbane, and yeah, really excited to put this one out. I don't know, kind of like, I think I really love when I love a song, I personally really love if there's a music video. Like I love when songs that some of my favorite songs also have music video. It's like another extension of the song. It gives new meaning to lyrics sometimes, and some of my favorite songs, I probably saw the music video in the first instance, and then I from that music video was like, oh wow, this is great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What was the first music video that you ever like resonated with, or that you can remember seeing and being like, damn, that's cool?
I reckon it would actually probably be Last Night by The Strokes.
Oh yeah.
So there's this video where I'm pretty sure it's Last Night. But anyway, they're in this like white tank essentially, and as they're singing, there's this black liquid.
Yeah, it's like filling it up.
It's
I think
filling
that is
it
Last
up.
Night. I think that is Last Night. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Last Night. And you know, they're just like singing and playing, and they just like they're not even acknowledging that they're getting drowned by this evil black water. And I just loved that. I remember watching that loads of times and just like trying to see something different every time I watched it, even though it's like, you know, one take essentially. So yeah, that's probably the first one that really resonated with me. What about you?
The first ones I ever saw were like all like, you know, Metallica video clips and stuff like that. Of course, there's only so many times I can bring up Metallica in one sit down. In the first ones that ever like really resonated with me as far as like getting my attention with like live music videos, just because like, you know, we're seeing like, you know, even if it's the
It's actually this one,
it's the only other one.
Oh, you only live once.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
And Suicide Silence, the old deathcore band, put out a song called "You Only Live Once," and it was like effectively the same music video. Like they're in like the same space and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a complete homage to this track.
This track is so good. And that music video is just, it's something else.
Yeah,
I love it. I loved it when I was younger, and I love it now.
Yeah, I'm wearing white pants right now, and it's giving me an anxiety attack just looking at this.
And all their instruments and like his cool leather jacket, and I was like, what are you doing?
Outside of like live music videos, I think the first like it took a really long time for me to like view music videos as an art form. But there's a band from Poland called Behemoth, and they put out like a huge series of music videos, almost a music video for every song bar a couple off an album called The Satanist that they put out, and they all follow the same like thematic theme. It's like everything's in slow motion, everything's in black and white, and like the imagery of it, it's like you could watch it 30 times and never truly understand what's going on. All of this, it's
sick.
This is the only one that involves like a cityscape, but and some chess. I've been watching the Queen's Gambit on Netflix.
Damn, do I have a thing or two to say about the Queen's Gambit?
I haven't finished it yet, so don't say too much.
I won't. Don't get me started.
If you go do that one there, blow your trumpets, Gabriel. That one has some like pretty extreme, like the whole thing is actually that little logo there.
Yeah.
That's that. That's that.
There you go.
All of this is just like so well shot, and all of it is just, you know, it's all about sacrifice for what you believe in, or like trying to run away from something that you something that you can't accept. It's very extreme. Like it's definitely too heavy for just general listening or general viewing or anything like that. But this is the first time I ever saw music videos as like an art form.
Yeah, right. I really like the idea, like when an artist puts out a video, or when they put out a body of work and then they kind of follow that aesthetic through. Kirkland does a great job at that.
Yeah, he does. He
really nails that, and big props to Dan. Like all of the videos for the Love Divide EP have been unreal, and that's that's an example of
best video clip in the whole world. Wires by best one in the whole world. Wires by Red Fang. Search Wires Red Fang. That's that is the most fun you can have in a music video. It's like the music video is effectively like what they did. They just the whole pretense of it, like without watching the whole thing, is, you know, they're given a $5,000 music video budget by the record label, and they use that $5,000. I think I showed you.
Yeah, is this the one where?
They buy like the bombed up old car and everything.
And then they
just start running stuff over.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, people should watch this. It's actually This is really funny.
The whole aesthetic of the band is they just drink heaps of beer and just drink heaps of beer and just play heaps of riffs.
This was actually
this is just all we do.
This was fun. I love like the little subtext.
How much they spend on everything.
Yeah. Remaining budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
If they like skip along to like sort of there-ish, I reckon, is when they this is where everything comes to fruition, and they've built their bombed out car, and they just start running stuff over.
Yeah, we shouldn't give it away. People should watch it and experience it. Yeah,
that is a good point.
Yeah. People should watch it. Yeah. Anyway, it's just funny. It actually really reminds me of Mythbusters.
Yeah, 100%. It's his full Mythbusters vibe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what we're doing for our next music video. I just decided it right now.
Yeah. I mean,
blowing the budget.
Yeah, blowing the budget. We'll get an ACT Arts grant and just blow it on running stuff over.
Start an application.
Yeah.
This is the application.
Yeah, we'll get endorsed by Summonats or something.
But you mentioned before about live videos that you really liked. Because we did a live video.
Yes.
In Sydney.
Yes.
At 301. Which is not out yet, but there might be a little. Oh, there's Mal, the beautiful man.
Yeah, he's a handsome boy.
The little sneak peek. But yeah, that was loads of fun. What did you think of going to 301?
That was wild. It was just like all the Red Bull you could drink and
look at you, look at us.
Yeah, damn,
we got hips flying.
There's a world premiere.
Yeah.
Outside of Mum's already seen it pretty much, but
yeah, my mum's seen it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that will be out probably, I don't know, soon as well. But I really love going to 301. The space was unreal.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was so big.
Everyone there was so happy to help and passionate about obviously their job, as you would be.
And that big grand piano in the foyer that's like, oh yeah, Kanye recorded on this.
Yeah, what did they say? He wrote some, I don't know enough about Kanye to even make this call, but
just some song that starts with him just like mashing the same key over and like
Runaway.
Runaway, that's it.
Yeah, apparently he was like doodling that apparently it's hearsay. Don't quote me on that. Rumor has it.
But yeah, it's like in the foyer of 301. It's like, yeah, Kanye recorded on this. I was like, did he now? Like sat down and I was like, Kanye doesn't know anything.
That was a great experience.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
and
we had Claire and Harry in, who I believe shot that.
Harry shot it. He did an incredible job, and Claire took some photos, and a lot of the photos on our Instagram and stuff. And then I think she's working on a little behind the scenes. I don't know if I'm dropping too many things. But yeah, she's working on that. So I'm actually keen to see that.
Yeah, me too. I like the behind the scenes. Actually, yeah, as a growing up musician, I think behind the scenes and band docos and stuff like that, that's what really got me.
Yeah.
I thought they looked like the most fun.
Yeah, Wolf Alice have this video for their song Heavenward. Heavenward?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm saying that weird.
Heavenward,
yeah. And it's essentially, it's just the perfect song, this perfect opener song. And the whole video is just snippets of them on tour and snippets of them on stage and on their big tour, because they have a UK band, so they go all around Europe and stuff. And I just watched that video and it's a music video, but it's a behind the scenes of all these different shows and touring life and stuff. And I remember the first time I saw that, I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I want to be this.
Yeah, 100%. It just looks like fun. Huh?
Yeah, it looks like, it is fun. So.
Yeah, I think I had the same thing, watching again, Metallica videos and stuff growing up, or when they played in Russia to 600,000 people at the Monsters of Rock in 92, I think.
Insane.
Yeah, and just the behind the scenes of that and stuff. Well, it's just wow. I want to play 600,000 people, but then you get a little older and you realize that you're very happy to play to 40 people. But 40 people in a dive bar, just as good.
Just as good. Yeah, totally.
You take what you're given. Not everyone gets to play to 600,000 angry Russian people. That clip's wild. There's I
gotta see it.
There's helicopters patrolling the area and the military beating down on the crowd and stuff.
Oh,
it's real crazy footage.
That sounds intense.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like at every Sputnik show. Really, just helicopters.
Yeah, it's just wild.
Yeah.
Throwing hands.
Yeah.
Oh, one time, Joe, we were playing. There was we were playing in Phoenix, which is now no longer with us.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, on our USA tour.
On the debut.
Way back. We were playing in Phoenix, and there was someone I think had like coming off the street who was like causing a bit of a ruckus, and Joe's the most non-confrontational and like sweetest human.
Yeah.
And we were like literally in the middle of a song, and he just, I think he said it was like, I think it was like the person to come in and was maybe like physically like pushing people at the front, and there was some, you know, people at the front that were just like really, I don't know, not having a good time. And Joe just like yelled at this guy and was like, "Get out of here. You can't treat people like that," or something on stage. And I was like, "Go, Joe." I was like,
hell yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. But you never see, I don't know. I just, yeah, it's like important to look after your friends at shows.
Yeah, totally.
Because that stuff's not fun if you're
No,
getting beaten on.
not at all. It wouldn't be Phoenix without that. I think it's like, I remember like 2 or 3 different shows where it's like similar things happened when I played at Phoenix. I remember one time in my old band Mule, we played, and like just after we played, I like went outside. I think it was like winter, it was pretty cold. I put my hood on, just went like stood outside to get some air, and there was like 2 dudes just yelling at each other like right in the middle of the interchange there, like out the front of Phoenix. There's these 2 dudes, they both kind of look like skeletons, like it was pretty strange and like surreal looking. And all I see is like one guy like hobbling away, and the other guy's just yelling at him, "You killed him, Denny. You killed him."
Oh,
and I was like, what have I walked into? I was like,
God.
"Denny, what have you done?"
What have you done?
Apparently Denny killed him though. And I was like, I went
God.
inside. I was like, man, I'm like,
I'm a witness.
yeah, I like went and told the guys, but I was like, I'm upset about this. I was like, I don't know what Denny's done, but
He's done something.
he wasn't in a good way. Hopefully Denny's not watching right now. Sorry, Denny.
You got to miss live music, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live music, nice. And you were speaking of Joe. Joe has been across the border,
Yeah.
split from the band. How's that been?
It's been sad. Poor Joe. He like what was it? Oh no. I was just thinking back to when I was like practicing an introduction, and I said like, Joe's in Melbourne with coronavirus, and everyone was like, no, he doesn't have coronavirus. But no, he's been in Melbourne since like March or something.
Yeah.
Or no.
Nah, later than that.
Since
Like July.
or August. I think August.
Okay, not that long.
His whole year's been there. He's been in Melbourne, for a little while, and it's been fine. Like he came up recently, and we did some practice, and then we've been doing a bit of sort of like remote Zoom sessions just to kind of like. And
He left before this song was recorded, I'm assuming, or you were doing it while he was down there.
No, so he was still in Canberra when we did the song. So yeah, he must have left. He must have left in August.
It was July or August for sure.
Yeah. I don't know why I said March.
No idea.
Major error.
March is when everything went down. We probably just associate everything shutting down with when Joe went as well.
Exactly. Yeah, true indeed. That's when coronavirus started. But so we recorded before he left, and then it was literally like he moved down, and then that week it was locked down, and he couldn't get back for at least, I think it might have been 8 weeks or something.
Yeah, minimum.
And so yeah, we stayed in contact, obviously, and just like we had a few practices, you and I and Mal.
Yeah. And then we had the Hands Like Houses live stream to play, and we got our good friend Aaron to step in and play bass in place of Joe. We were rehearsing to do it without bass and like trying to find a way to still make it sound full.
Yeah, it was not happening.
But like a week out from it, we were like, nah, we gotta get the low end held down. So yeah, shout out to Aaron.
Yeah, well, I was there at that show, and I didn't know that that wasn't your bass player.
He did an amazing job.
Straight up.
Honestly, and it was one of those things as well where you said it yourself, like something like a week out, something like, actually we need bass. And Aaron was like, I'll do it. And he just totally went ham and getting, the right gear and just like borrowing this like
he
sick
went all out.
Ampeg.
He went all out.
Yeah, and it was great because and obviously, and we've been friends. I've been friends with Aaron for a while now, so was Joe, like a year and a half, maybe even more. And so playing with him was just easy. It was easy as he slotted right in and did a great job. And that was a really fun gig as well.
That was a fun gig. It was different.
It was different. It was weird.
We definitely played better on the night that wasn't live streamed. It was pretty typical. There's 2 in a row. Like the first night was like a dress rehearsal, still to a live audience. The second one was filmed.
Yep.
Yeah, the first one we definitely played better.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. But that was it was weird because you're playing to people online, but then you're also playing to people who were kind of sitting.
Yeah,
but
they're like 10 meters away.
Yeah, 10 meters away.
Yeah.
But then you're kind of jumping around on stage, but everyone's sitting down, and I know that there was a while there, and it still kind of is now, where that's a bit of an industry kind of intermediate stage where you're playing shows and you're going just as hard, and everyone's sitting down.
Yeah.
And it's a weird vibe.
Yeah, it was still fun though. It was just fun to play.
Yeah, it was totally loads of fun, and playing with Hans was amazing.
Yeah.
And Ives, incredible.
Yeah.
Again, that was.
I liked that the beer fridge in the green room kept getting restocked as well.
I mean, that's always
lots of beers
important.
Lots of beers went missing that night. I don't know where they went. They didn't go in my gym bag, nowhere, or my guitar case, or anywhere else.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it'd been a while. I actually realized as well. I remember, I think like a couple. I don't know. I want to say weeks, but I'm probably going to say days before I was like, oh my gosh, we've got a gig to play and I haven't sung anything. Like we practiced, but I haven't like actually, done any vocal warms. I struggled to do vocal warms for this time, so I was like, oh my gosh, I need to sort this out. And you just realize during COVID that because you don't have that like regular flow of gigs and practice sessions as well, because Joe's away and stuff, it can kind of all just sit there unless you actively are practicing and rehearsing and playing your instrument, even if it's just at home or with the band. So that was a hard thing with COVID as well.
I noticed that with like because I don't have to worry about singing like you do, but I like for my movement, my stage presence and stuff.
Yeah.
Like this is like the longest time I'd been without playing a show since I was like a kid. And I was like trying to remember how to act on stage and stuff, particularly without a crowd like right in front of you to interact with.
Yeah, it was kind of nerve-wracking.
Yeah, 100%. And also that being like, first gig in like, 5 or 6 months or something like that. And then also it's completely different to any other gig you've ever played as well. It's like you're adapting to it like as you do it.
Yeah. I felt totally out of my comfort zone, but really glad we got to do it.
Yeah.
So the fact you're rehearsing again, does that mean we're going to see some live shows soon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We've got something to announce soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got stuff on the horizon. A couple shows.
Yeah.
Actually, which would be good.
Yeah. In a couple of different spots from memory.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just rock up and play them.
I think you're allowed to have dance floors now too, so you don't have to be seated. Yeah.
I am so keen.
I'm going to take my guitar off and just go down and dance.
Yeah.
Someone's got to do it.
I do love, who was it? Stella Donnelly. She always does these amazing dance moves when she's performing. And so do Rave Tapes, another band from Newcastle. So yeah, we gotta get practicing.
Yeah, straight up. My dance about as good as I snowboard. So
yeah, same.
Yeah, so you're gonna
we can dance about as good as I
We're
surf.
both gonna fall over. Nettie and I have a good choreographed dance move actually.
We do. We've got one.
Yeah, in the solo and rolling, like when it like picks up the tempo. It just I don't remember when it happened, but it started doing it. We just like got the perfect like 80s hair metal side to side dance. Like it's just hips left and right. That's all we have to worry about.
Yeah.
It's the benefit of playing guitar is you don't have to worry about what your hands are doing.
Yeah,
It's pure leg movement. You can just Peter Garrett it.
That's it. You're good with the kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some kicks.
Yeah, I got that high reach with my legs. I just got those super long legs and I can lean back pretty far, so it makes it look higher than it really is.
You got that flexibility.
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
Someone's got to have it. I was just born like this. I was born stretchy.
Nasty girl.
What was the first gig you ever saw, Nettie? Like, doesn't matter if it was good or bad, first one you ever saw.
Oh, gosh. Like...
I guess, like, knowingly saw, not like,
Yeah.
I know I saw the Wiggles when I was 4, but I can't remember that. Like, it was the first one you went to.
I don't know why. So the one that I can really think of was at the Street Theatre. Do you know where,
Yes.
so that's just near ANU campus. Mm-hmm. And I saw Lainey Lane, who is this rockabilly singer-songwriter. And she played a bunch of songs which were, I went and saw it with my friend. And I feel like that was one of the first ones that I actively bought tickets to. I don't even know where I first heard her music, but she put on a great show, and it was kind of, it was this bluesgrass, like rockabilly kind of. She had that one of those. It was like she played with this guitar, which kind of looked like your Gretsch.
Oh yeah.
And just has this incredible kind of Amy Winehouse sounding voice.
Sick.
And that was it was a seated gig. But I remember just loving it, just seeing her on stage and the whole band, and just you see it and you're like, I want to do that.
Yeah, rad.
What about you?
I was 14, and Lamb of God from the States were touring as part of the old Soundwave tour back before that went down, and they had a side show in Canberra of all places. And like for Lamb of God to come to Canberra was like, it's still like one of the biggest metal bands to ever come through here. It was them with In Flames and the Black Dahlia Murder, and I was like, I was 14, and I don't think I've ever been as hyped for anything ever. And that morning in PE we had the beep test, and so I'm doing the back and forth and beep test. I was like pretty good at beep test. I wasn't exceptional, but it was like getting up into the bit where it's pretty quick, where you get to the other side and you turn around and keep going straight away. And I turned around on one of these laps and I threw my neck out, like just completely just twinged it. It was like one of the worst ones I've ever done. Like, could not look to my right at all. I was just in so much pain. I like went to the sick bay and I was like having a panic attack. Like, I'm not gonna be able to see Lamb of God. I was like, but I went home and Mum's like got me an ice pack and stuff, and she's like, "You'll be fine. You can go see Lamb of God." And I went to see Lamb of God, and I got like right to the front, like on the barrier, and I'm like watching them like so desperately wanting to headbang and stuff. And I was just like, ow.
Should have brought a neck brace.
Yeah. There exists footage on YouTube of a wall of death from that show. So like during their last song, they had a big wall of death, and I was like, I want to be in it. My little 14-year-old self wanted to be in that so bad, and I went into it. And in this footage, if you search Lamb of God UC Refectory,
they played at UC, yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
it was UC. And in this footage, as we'll hopefully see, it'll either be called like Black Label or Wall of Death at the UC.
Those are scary. When you're really in a mosh, when you're like right in there, it's really fun. And then if you're like, I can't get out, it can get, like little 14-year-old me amongst all these like big units, and I can't even move my head properly. Like when what we'll see now happened, like it doesn't look as extreme as it felt, but well, while the video is being found, I do remember at that show, this guy like ran up on stage and went to stage dive. Not the Thy Art clip, though I was at this show. I was definitely at this show. This was a good show. Parkway played this one. Wow.
Hit the search again. At this show, this guy like got up on stage and went to stage dive. And like before he could stage dive, one of the security guards got angry and pushes him off the stage. And you just see him, he doesn't make it into the crowd, and he hits his head like on the corner of the barrier. And I just see him just hit the deck, and I was like,
was he the seat?
No, it was just a guy from the crowd.
Yeah, okay.
Guy from the crowd just got put down. It was
God,
one of the gnarliest things I've ever seen. Yeah, this will be it. So if we go like sort of, so it's like not the biggest show ever or anything like that. It's just like a bunch of drunk dudes spreading it out as you get at shows like this. Skip like sort of 30 seconds in or so, I'd say, is where we'll start to see the business.
Oh my gosh, and you would have been.
So right here, notice this clump of people fall down. That was me.
Oh, no.
I was the clump. And as I started to fall, I was like, oh, damn, I die already. This is it. This is how it happens.
This is the end.
But then I got helped back up, and I was like, all right, I am too little for this. And I extradited myself from there and just stood back and with a very stiff neck enjoy the rest of the show.
Wow.
So that's my very first ever gig story.
That's crazy.
Weeks later, I would go to my second ever gig, which was at Western Creek Community Centre. This is when I like entered the hardcore scene as a young boy, and a bunch of good bands, old Canberra blood, including a band called Here's to Hoping, which God, I hope he watches this. The singer of Kid Presentable, Elliot, that was his old band. He sang in that band as well.
Yeah, right.
They were playing, and during their set, Campbell, who's the drummer of Kid Presentable, him and I were moshing. It was like 20 people at Western Creek Community Centre. It was hilarious. We're moshing, and Campbell, the top of his head just goes bang into mine and just busts my nose. Campbell just breaks my nose just clean open, and I was like, whoa, and I ran outside, I'm bleeding everywhere, and he comes out, he's like, you all right, man? I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm fine. He runs back in. I call Mum, and I'm like, Mum, I got my nose broken. She's like, is it still straight? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, all right, you're fine. Don't worry about it. And so I hung up the phone. I was like, oh, I guess I'm fine.
I guess I'm alright.
She's like, go to Coles, buy a bag of peas, put it on your nose. You'll be fine.
Oh my god.
So I bought a bag of frozen peas, put them on my nose.
I went to a couple shows at community centre at Road Youth Centre.
Yes.
Not like that.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were not that hardcore.
When Youthy was good.
Yeah. I saw I think I saw Pleased to Drive You there.
Cool.
I think so. And there was this other band. I don't know if these guys are not gonna watch this, but because they're not in the band. They broke up ages ago. But they were called West of the Sun. They're from like Deakin.
Yeah, I remember that name.
Yeah.
West of-
Anyway, they had some great tracks, and I remember being
Yeah.
in like high school and just loving it.
Yeah, straight up. Those are the best days. I Civic Youth Centre used to go off. I remember someone got put into one of the windows there.
Oh, jeez.
Shows that was pretty wild.
That's actually, I think, like having spaces like that for kids kind of connecting with music, and then also when you just an emerging artist, even if it's not a youth centre, but just having venues that you can play at.
Yeah,
Totally.
totally.
And you're not like fighting over anyone to get a gig. Like there's places that you can actually play is super important
Yeah, totally.
because, yeah,
that abundance doesn't exist here anymore. Like,
there's a bunch of venues that have closed. I think like a lot to do with COVID.
yeah,
Just not being able to survive, and yeah, it's sad.
yeah. Maybe I'm just not invited to youth centre shows anymore because I'm no longer youth. But like, 10 years ago, like youth centre shows were everywhere. It was like every weekend, there'd be a different hardcore show or like a shoegaze show or an indie show or something like that.
Yeah.
But like now, there's none of them do it anymore.
Really?
At least
Yeah, I
not
don't know.
that I'm
I
aware
was
of.
like, maybe I just outgrew it. Maybe
Yeah.
it's still happening,
Yeah,
but
maybe we're just too old to be cool with the kids
like
anymore.
we're still going.
Yeah, I'll still come to
You're
the
out
show.
of touch.
Shut up, Gramps.
Everyone's just DJing now.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I'm not invited to those shows either.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay, boomer.
I'm too old and grey now.
Yeah.
I remember like all those old youth centre shows, like because we were all way younger, it's like the one guy with the tattoo sleeve there or something like that, or like the cool girl with stretched ears or something like that. There's just like, because everyone's underage at the youth centre shows, you see the person with the tattoo sleeves with the stretched ears, you're like, oh shit, they're so cool. It's like every kid is like just trying to hang out with them, or just like every kid's like got a cigarette for them. It's like, hey, do you want to smoke?
Yeah.
And just like these older people.
God, I don't miss adolescence.
No, I felt like I was paid my dues at because growing up being that I would always the older guy in the band, like, hey man, great set, can I buy you something? Like, can I get you I couldn't really buy him a beer unless it was like Snark or
Can I buy you a creaming soda?
yeah, can I get you a creamy soda, or like, can I go bum a cigarette off someone and give it to you? And then the last all ages show we played was in my other band, Kid Presentable. The last all ages show we played was back in like January, and it was a fundraiser show for Wires, and it was all ages. It was at the Front Cafe, and there was like a bunch of like underage kids there as well, which was sick. It was just like cool. You're seeing a slightly different crowd to usual.
Yeah.
And afterwards, like some of the kids were like coming up to us and be like, "Man, that was a great set," and like a couple of them like offering us cigarettes. It was like, yes, it came back around.
Full circle.
Yeah, finally, now I get the cigarettes.
That's cute.
You paid back in full. And cigarettes are more expensive than they were 10 years ago.
Yeah,
like, realistically, I'm making money.
You are making money.
So that was my first and second show.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, both of them sustaining injuries.
I can't say I've got any like that. There's one show that we played that was just a wild show up in Brisbane, and just stuff wasn't working. It was just a complete nightmare, really.
Yeah.
And it felt like, in the opening scene of School of Rock, when Jack Black, like, he's like, they're in that
and he's
stage, and he just like stage dives, and like everyone just like takes like 10 steps back. That's what I felt like at that show. I was just like, you're just on another, you're just not connecting. You're not vibing with the audience.
Yeah. No, it's a bad first date.
Yeah. It was obviously, it was a fun show. It was a fun time. But yeah, I guess like some of that. And sometimes when you get off stage, you're like feeling, so that was a great show. And then sometimes you're just feeling, you're overthinking like the smallest thing and nobody else noticed it.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh God, that was a disaster. And then everyone's like, oh, that was sick. Like, I thought that was good. And so it's just like, sometimes I wig myself out. Sometimes I wig myself out when I'm playing, and I'll be like, what chord is like, what chord is next? What chord is next?
100%. I'll get that if I stuff something else up. Like, I'll start thinking about the thing that I stuffed up and then forget what's coming up. Like at the Live in Your Lounge show after we played, it was like the second last song was Rolling, and then we did Us Girls, yeah?
Yeah.
Like during the Rolling solo, like I did a big bend and like knocked one of my strings out of tune.
I remember that.
And we're playing Us Girls, and then I like noticed that one of my strings was out of tune. I was just like, and like from when I start playing Us Girls, I got no breaks after that. Really, I was like, I can't tune. It was like just avoiding my B string at all costs.
Or just like going super.
Yeah, just like just
hard
overcompensating. Yeah, or just doing lots of vibrato to make everyone think it's intentional.
I can't remember what show it was. It was like it was a decent show, and I just like had this moment where I wigged out, and we were playing Love You Best or something, and I just forgot the chords to the chorus. I was like, I don't know what's happened to me. This song is the oldest song ever.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I don't know, it was just terrible. I don't know. Sometimes you just have those moments where you just
all of it's muscle memory, and then it's like doing something that is normally muscle memory, and then suddenly putting your brain into it. Your brain isn't ready for it, and then as soon as your brain is involved in what your hand's doing, rather than just letting your hand work, then you screw up.
Yeah, you get distracted by something like
At the second live stream we played, after that lady kicked down the door and told us we were making too much noise.
Yes.
That was pretty fun. After that, I was just laughing about that for like 3 songs straight, just like think it was so. And like I think 3 songs in a row, I like messed up a chorus because I was like, "Damn, what the hell are these notes?" I'm too busy just laughing about what had happened.
That was so. We played this live stream for Melbourne Uni, and our manager was really lovely and let us like play at his house.
Yep.
And it was in the middle of the day, so like, oh, this is fine. But there was someone who was working from home, and even though it was literally it was like a 50-minute set.
Yeah, 50-minute set, like like 2:00 in the afternoon on like a Monday.
Yeah, but we had like in the middle of a live stream, we like had all this gear set up. It was like live streaming on the Melbourne Uni page. One of the neighbors came through and just, I think because we had the door open because we like loading gear in and stuff, and like literally came into the room and was like, "What's going on? This is too loud. I'm trying to work." Like, and then we were trying to be like, okay, and we only had 3 songs left or something.
Yeah, something like that. She's like threatening to call the cops and stuff. Like, if you don't cane it right now.
And we're like, and then we're like, this is live right now. And then she's like, I don't care. And we were like, but you're famous. No.
Yeah. She was so angry.
Yeah, I felt really, really bad. And then I remember in the live stream as well, like the last song was Something More, which is like decibels above all the other
so
songs.
Much bigger.
And I was like, oh God, I feel bad. We're about to play the loudest song of the entire entire set.
I remember putting all the gear in the car after we played that one, and like there was a couple like neighbors doing their gardening, just like looking at me real angrily, and I was like, sorry about it, man. Sorry that you got to enjoy some free music on your Monday.
Yeah, right.
It was like, what a hard life you live in a 3-story mansion up a hill. I don't remember what suburb it was in. I know those were some nice houses.
Yeah.
They didn't have a lot to worry about. 45 minutes of some like pretty mild music does not seem like
we had some chatting in between.
Yeah, doesn't seem the most world-ending thing to just get some nice music in the middle of the day.
There's some.
Not to big note ourselves too much, but there's some nice music.
Yeah, I'll listen to it.
Yeah. This is a jam. I reckon there would have been a couple neighbours like, yeah, this is all right.
Surely.
Yeah, I hope so.
You hope so.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a pretty rich neighbourhood, so who's to say?
Yeah, right.
Maybe if you'd had your violin with you, then everything would have like.
Yeah, I should have whipped out the violin.
Yeah, that would have calmed them right down.
Yeah, with my little dagger, little notches on it and all.
Yeah, it's like Harry Potter. In the first one, like the big 3 had a dog and they got to put it to sleep
Fluffy.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to put all like the really rich people in the big houses to sleep with your violin. Do that, maybe like whip out some opera
I wonder if Billy's watching this and you'll be like, yeah, Billy's neighbour, just like Fluffy.
Yeah.
And we're like, what?
He can show her. let her know what I think. You kick down the door.
Well, guys, I can't wait till we can see you not on a live stream and back in the shows, in the venues, but thank you for joining us today, and I think we'll wrap it up there.
Thank you so much for having us.